Breaking the 0 hour has struck. Israel poised to hit Iran within hours as Revolutionary Guard threatens devastating response. Hey everyone, how's it going? We're glad to have you here from all around the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, has the 0 hour arrived? Are the drums of war beating? Well, the truth is, confirmed reports and intelligence sources now strongly suggest that Israel is preparing to strike Iran. This isn't just speculation anymore, it's being reported in newspapers and across the media. The United States is already pulling non-essential personnel from its embassies in the region, especially in Iraq. Families of American military personnel are being evacuated voluntarily. U.S. military bases in the region are on high alert. This is no longer just media hype. Real diplomatic and military movements are happening behind the scenes, pointing to a very dangerous turning point, not just in the Gulf, but for the entire region. Now, talk of an Israeli strike on Iran isn't new. But what's different this time is the speed and seriousness of the developments. Media reports inside Israel say that Netanyahu has been holding multiple secret meetings with top military and security officials. They're reportedly finalizing plans not for a quick strike, but for a full military campaign against Iran. That's the difference now. It's not just a one-off attack like in the past. This time, Israel is preparing for a sustained, week-long campaign with continuous direct strikes on multiple locations in Iran, especially targeting their nuclear facilities. They aim to cause massive damage to Iran's infrastructure, so this isn't just a few jets flying in and out. This is a large-scale operation. But for Israel to pull this off, they absolutely need U.S. support. There's no way Israel can do this alone. Also, consider the airspace. Which countries will allow Israel to fly through? Iran warned just a month or two ago that any country allowing Israel to use its airspace would be considered a participant in the war. Iran isn't just standing by either, it's monitoring everything and preparing for all scenarios. Iran's defense minister, General Aziz Zadeh, recently stated that if they are attacked, they will launch precision strikes on every United States military base in the region. Interestingly, he didn't even mention Israel directly. Instead, he said they'll hit American bases. Why? Because they see the United States as being behind any major Israeli move, so the Iranian response won't just target Israel, it'll likely include the United States too. This shows how serious the potential Israeli strike is, and how Iran views it as being backed by American firepower. But despite all this, nuclear negotiations haven't officially collapsed yet. Iran is still publicly saying it wants to negotiate and avoid war. However, inside Iran, tensions are running high and hardline voices are getting louder. For example, a senior cleric from Khuzestan, a region in Iran, and he's someone many people actually listen to, said that if Iran is attacked, Israel will be completely crushed. Even if that kind of rhetoric is just for domestic consumption, it's clear that Iran is rallying public support against both the United States and Israel. So, what happens if Iran is attacked? There are two possibilities. Iran responds with direct retaliation, or, and this is more vague, something else entirely. What does something else mean? Well, some analysts are saying that Iran could launch cyberattacks in response. And actually, it looks like this may have already started. A cyberattack was just reported on the Defense Ministry website of an unnamed Arab country, and other military or aviation-related sites are being targeted as well. While I can't say too much, I've personally seen evidence that cyber warfare may already be underway. Now, I'm not trying to make things sound worse than they are. Maybe all of this is just pressure to push Iran back to the negotiating table over its nuclear program. Could it all be a bluff? Maybe. But I'm just relaying what's being said in the media, especially in the Western press. Right now, the United States is clearly on maximum alert. United States military bases in the region are on high alert. Tensions have really reached a breaking point. All American military bases in the region are now at the highest level of combat readiness. General Erik Kurilla, the commander of United States Central Command, actually canceled a planned testimony at the Capitol and rushed back to CENTCOM headquarters in Florida. That alone shows how serious things are. He clearly can't afford to be away from command at a time like this. This isn't just about political statements anymore. When the CENTCOM commander makes a move like that, it means real military action is being prepared. Following that, United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin ordered the voluntary evacuation of all families of American personnel stationed at United States bases in the region. Meanwhile, the United States Secretary of State instructed that all non-essential embassy staff leave the region. That confirms the situation is extremely tense. And it's not just the US feeling the pressure. The UK is on alert too. The British Maritime Trade Operations, or UKMTO, issued a warning about expected military activity near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Arabian Gulf. As for the US, it's kind of confusing. There are reports saying that Trump has been in regular contact with Netanyahu recently. According to those reports, Trump told Netanyahu that he doesn't support launching a military strike right now. He was clear. He's not against military action in general, but he doesn't think now is the time. At the same time, though, Trump also said he's frustrated with Iran, saying they're no longer serious about negotiations like they used to be. So is this a contradiction? Not necessarily. You could say Trump is playing both sides. He doesn't want a war, but he also doesn't want Iran to develop nuclear weapons. In other words, he's walking a fine line, trying to avoid war but also trying to stop Iran from going nuclear. That said, some believe the decision to strike may have already been made. Trump has repeatedly stated he'll never allow Iran to get nuclear weapons, and that's a red line Israel also won't cross. Now let's talk about the Gulf states. For them, the situation is especially complicated. Last month, Saudi Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman visited Tehran and told Iranian officials that nuclear negotiations must not break down. They should proceed calmly and peacefully. At the same time, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar have all reportedly told Trump that they're against a military strike on Iran. You might ask, what does that even mean? Here's the thing. The Gulf states don't want Iran to have nukes, but they also don't want a war breaking out in the region. Why? Because it would threaten their own security. Take Qatar, for example. It hosts Al Udeid, the biggest U.S. military base in the Middle East. If things go south, Iranian ballistic missiles could start raining down, and it wouldn't be surprising if some hit luxury high-rises that cost billions to build. This is no joke. War could seriously disrupt the Gulf's stability, security, and economy. Now back to diplomacy. Steve Witkoff is expected to meet with Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi this coming Sunday. That meeting was supposed to restart negotiations, but now, there's talk that these talks might not even happen anymore. Some experts, including people from the IEA, say Iran is defying international pressure and has already stockpiled over 900 pounds of enriched fuel. There are also reports that Iran has conducted missile tests recently. Just yesterday, the Iranian defense minister said they tested a missile with a 2-ton warhead, a clear show of strength and a not-so-subtle message to their enemies. So yes, things are extremely tense and complicated right now. We really are standing at the edge of the abyss. Intelligence and media reports confirm that the U.S. is on high alert, Israel is holding security meetings behind closed doors, and military movements are underway. This could lead to a huge spike in fuel prices. Iran insists it's not against negotiations, but claims the U.S. has recently set humiliating conditions. Meanwhile, the U.S. says Iran hasn't been serious in the latest round of talks. Bottom line, we're right on the brink. At any moment, this could go beyond just airstrikes. We could be looking at an all-out